Yes, I love messing around so much. I upgraded to my dream job again. If the table is correct, it should be the 5th version versus the 5th version. What about this table? It's from Livtab Cyber series. Well, this one is the small L model. You can see it. This is an L-shaped shape. Then it also has a U-shaped shape. There are also cardboard models available in various sizes. It's your own choice, so I only have space in my studio on the 2nd floor. It's so small, so I chose a relatively neutral one. This L model desk is my 4th ideal work desk compared to the previous one. I think this version is a lot better than the previous one. Let's deal with the shortage of tables one by one. The first thing to solve is, what about the previous work table? Its engineering area was very messy. If you still remember, one side of it is used for office work and the other. Noodles are used and rarely used. To be honest, now, as for this table, you can very intuitively feel the workspace here. The computer monitor is very convenient for working, and then the deputy desk is turned to. This area is here to do some handmade photography, oral broadcasting, or if you want to write, no problem in this subtitle. In the workspace, at the corner of this L-shaped version, you can put it on your computer host or 3D printer, printing machine, or your equipment's anti-tamper box back to our main table. Oh, you will feel that compared to the previous old model, the desktop. It has a lot of space, so I can use both hands. Put it completely on the desktop and work in a very comfortable posture. There are so many sentient beings. And then what about the second solution? The biggest problem is the storage of the desktop. The previous desk had a lot of them. I put all the little things on the table, and now there are drawers. Now every cable, adapter, and small accessory finally has a proper place. There are a lot of pens, right? There's room for them, of course, this one. I think it's a bit sloppy if you know how to do it. With 3D printing, you can make various designs according to your own needs. Plant different partitions, and I don't know if you still remember that I was charging. When charging, place a charger on the ground. Then connect a wire to the corner of the desktop. The cable is hung on the table for charging. And now this table also has a charger. Separate charging area which has a full 8 USB slots. You can use this hub to charge as much as you want. Line, and then this is the one I used on that table before. Whatever you call it. In the past, wires could only pass through the desktop. There will be a lot of very complicated wires. Now they are clean, right? All the lines have been collected and gone to the back. The most important thing is that we come here and see us at this location. You can see that it has an extra thread. You can add a big thread to the fork. There are a lot of complicated wires for power supply, just put them here. Next, these lines behind the computer and monitor, it turns out that they are messed up. The messy wires are all hidden by these 3D printed wire troughs. It's very neat and looks great. There are no more messy lines on the desktop. Yes, I feel more comfortable with this than before. A very healing point, and then what is the most important point? There is also a lifting function. This table has 2 levels. The memory can be changed. You can sit down and work. It's very comfortable to work while standing. You know that desk before? I can only sit. If I sit for a whole day, it will cause damage to my waist. In fact, I can't bear it. Now this table can be raised and lowered. Plus, my Steelcase ergonomic chair has an entire backside. They happen to be made of velvet. When I'm working while standing, I can just lean back on this chair and keep staring at the wall. The surface can directly support my entire back and is very comfortable. So just now, I quickly shared this lift with you. App in the 4th version compared to the previous Ideal Studio, it is on the desktop. In addition to the many conveniences brought to me by the above functions. Before I start sharing all the equipment on this table, there are some reasons why Wei grabbed this table and wanted to buy it immediately. First of all, one of the unique features of this table is that the perforated board on the back of the entire table was originally designed to. The plan is to let everyone put it on the wall, but I put it in such a way that it looks like a partition. Put it in the middle of the studio and then this one on the back. I would like to share with you a few points about perforated boards that I think are very convenient. First of all, the pegboard lets you organize or display whatever you need. To put various things, store various things, or to display various things. I will share them with you later because my desktop is directly regarded as one of the entire space. Partition, so I can do both this side and the back. As long as I have an idea, I can use this side as use one functional area, right? Since my 2nd floor is completely open. There is a floor-to-ceiling window, so this whole L-shaped perforated board the height is just right to block the back of the monitor from shining directly into my eyes. Some light, but not completely blocked. just comfortable. Then the second point is that the strength of this perforated board is very strong. You should notice that this board here is the original factory of Livtab. The coin is that they designed this perforated board to be strong enough. The support plate that is directly used to hold a monitor can only be used to install the monitor. I think it's a pity that the monitor has coins. I think it can be added in additional settings. Calculate some for iPad or other devices such as photos. I think it would be better to use some coins such as a camera or microphone. It's reasonable to add it, and then it's on the left side of our main table. A metal storage rack is provided. What about this storage rack? I usually use it to store some equipment that I may use soon. The material is like a camera or a microphone or something weird. Will be placed on top, and then usually I put these things. I can charge devices right here. Just put it here and you can charge it. It has a metal panel that can helps you to quickly dissipate some devices that may be hot while charging. When you get to the side table, you'll notice there's a toolbox on it. I currently use this toolbox to store some of the tools I use for cleaning. Tools include the wiping gold used for this liquid crystal, and then there are some small miscellaneous items inside, so this toolbox is interesting. Click it. It is separate. You can just carry the toolbox away, right? Then this place. The place just now is one of the functions of this table that improves the performance of this table. A good design for functionality and storage. Okay, let's get started. Today, I still want to share the main topic with you as before. Everything on my desk comes first to this monitor. Everyone should know that, of course, it is now obsolete and has been discontinued. It comes from Apple's Pro Display XDR and then the secondary screen. That's why I've been complaining about its inaccurate color display. I won't mention the brand of the device, but I still use it to this day. After all, the secondary screen is just a screen to assist you and I don't need it. The color is accurate and the display is normal, which is already a good result. The machine uses Apple's Mac Studio M2U Ultra speaker. I previously introduced a separate video about 80 from the Truth. 20D has very good sound quality if you are interested in it. You can watch my video alone. Control this one. The panel comes from Tourbox and it helps me edit pictures, or it is used to assist some software and use it as a shortcut key. The disc uses Apple's original keys with numeric keypads. You can see that the pan has been peeled off after being used by me, right? But which keyboard do you occasionally use? I occasionally use this one. This one is 4. Since Kid Crown's Z11 Ultra, it's a solid keyboard is outrageous, right? I think it looks good. When I'm not working so hard, I use it for relaxed typing, and the split layout feels very comfortable. An Alex layout, right? It hides the receiver in the nameplate. I find it very interesting and the portion is very filling. It's just a piece of cake, right? And it's for Mac. There is a separate key design, which I think is very special. It looks great, feels solid, and the split layout makes typing easy. Of course, the relaxed parting is too much. I just like to share a few more sentences about what I said once, because it looks good. I would also like to put it here as a good-looking display. The same mouse is hanging on my action pad. I used to do it alone. I have shared the MX Max 4 from Logitech and I think it is This easy-to-use mouse also has a separate video. You can watch that video, and then over here is my DaVinci Resolve editing keyboard for quick and precise shortcuts. The editing keyboard is quite easy to use when doing some quick cuts. Here is what iPad Pro does during the color grading process. A final look at Pro Display XDR color on iPhone. And the color displayed on this iPhone is still there. There will still be a little color difference in the camera, so I say Pad Pro is still necessary for color grading and monitoring here. On the moving board on the back of the monitor, I magnetically attached an Amona T4. This light bar works both as ambient lighting and as a practical desk lamp. At night, it can just provide some auxiliary light for my desktop. The light from the source just shines through the bottom of the screen and onto the keyboard. Even with low light, it won't be dazzling. It's a win-win function and a good atmosphere. Then let's look over here. When we see this, you will find this. The number of devices that can be said to be mobile is unchanged. If it is planted on this table, it will directly. It increases the vertical space of my desk and can accommodate a lot of things on it. For example, the equipment you saw me using for entrance broadcasting of this camera. Then the light installed is the 60X from El Monra. The opportunity to take the photo is very close, so the power of 60X is also. It's enough, and the microphone, and here I use a monster. Keep your hands fixed on it because the picture quality of our current iPhone is already very sufficient. I said that if I usually want to take some unboxing and overhead views, I just fixed the iPhone here and took the picture from top to bottom. It's enough for the top. Then here below, I can put my notebook. Watch the video above and make this craft while doing it. It's very convenient to refer to, so I think it's okay to talk about the number of devices. It is a master of space management. It instantly expanded the space of my desk. If you look at the whole thing, the functionality increases and in terms of strength, what do you think from the second version of the table? I've been using it for so long and haven't replaced it until now. So far, it can still serve on my desk very well. It works incredibly well and I definitely recommend it. Moving on to this panel here. So the pure metal movable version can be used as a magnetic lamp, so I decided to use to make some small fill lights. For example, this light stick is from Imunla. This is the T2C model, and right beside it is the AI unit. Tusher's MC Pocket Light can also be magnetically attached, so you can just magnetically attach it to it, right? Then these are some small decorations. For example, I think this is very interesting. The ultra-thin keyboard from Eli Cam is here, and I rarely use it. And then over here is it's like a Breber brake disc, right? But it's actually a tissue box. I usually use paper too much, right? So powerful. I won't tell you what you're using it for. I'm still here alone. There is also a dedicated outlet here for charging. Normally, you see, I give these lights power, charge the lights, and then hang up some more. For example, some small things such as microphones, this subtable is basically, it's a relatively versatile area. It's easy to pick it up. When I came down and saw the tableside cabinet under the table, it was me. It was the matching tableside cabinet of the previous UFO table. Just put it next to my leg so that it can be easily accessed from my leg at any time. It is used as a tableside cabinet, and its access method is, it's very interesting, and it's also very expensive. Seriously, it's over here on the right. The lower part of the L shape is out of reach of our feet. I just put my NAS in it, and then another one to put some miscellaneous items. Sometimes you use it to put your feet up in the luggage box, right? There is also this location. This is a filing cabinet for some of my more important documents. It's a relatively common and cheap tableside cabinet from IKEA. At this point, basically everything on the desktop. Now that I've shared them all, I want to share them with you next. These are some of the details that really make this desk stand out. Why do I choose Livtab's Cyber series? Because some of its details really impressed me first of all. The point is that it is a height adjustable table, but it is also a heavy, stable sit-stand desk makes a huge difference if you have used one. Lift stand tables are generally relatively unstable and wobbly, but this table is an exception. It is very strong and heavy. Well, what's the second point? It's that this table comes with it. Come to the palace, let's look at the back. Right under the table. We can see that there are 4 sockets under the left table. There are 2 sockets under the seat and auxiliary tables, so there are 2 sockets for the main and auxiliary tables. There are a total of 6 sockets on the table, which is a bit needed. What you notice is that the line output by this table is, as it takes into account giving you enough on your desktop. The electrical equipment must have sufficient power supply wattage. Large, so the plug on the output line uses 16. Plug, so you must pay attention when installing. When using this table, your forced insertion panel must be replaced in advance. Next, look here for the 16A interface. This table has a separate control module, of course. You can also use the app to control the lifting and lowering of this table, and the adjustment of different gears obviously needs to be praised for its lovely features. It's a nice little detail, but I can't talk about the shortcomings until later. Well, this is also a disadvantage. This place does reserve a charge for you. Electric panel wires, but it didn't do it for you. A fallback is when you don't need to use these lines. How can you store it well? You can't do it now. This thread is naked. If it's exposed, you have to use glue to stick it on yourself, right? I think this is a matter of detail, and it really wasn't done well here. Next, look here, and you can choose according to your needs. Then there is the question of pairing it with these motorized rising speakers. It's very technological. After you press it, it can rise. Come and press it again, and it will go down, and pay attention. This speaker actually has good sound quality. For people like me who have strict requirements on sound, the sound quality of the speaker is very good. In fact, the quality is not into my ears. If you are flat, when you don't have that much demand for sound, this loudspeaker is enough. It has 2 ways of giving it a signal. One is through Bluetooth and the other is through wiring. The biggest purpose of choosing it is to show off in front of your friends, right? You can hum and rise and fall just in front of him, rising and falling crazily, right? You would think that people who are trendy in this era would be very handsome, right? It looks futuristic. Technology. Then the next one is here. There is one here. Very interesting design point, very well designed. What about a wireless mobile phone charging stand? First of all, pay attention to the position of the bracket. I have already placed my monitor. The monitor and keyboard are centered and still placed. After installing TourBox, it can still avoid these very cleverly. The location of the peripheral, then lift it up and take your phone. Put it up, right? You can give it to your mobile phone. I think the wireless charging location is very well designed. Usually it is very convenient for you to take a look when you are using the computer. My last issue. I have shared with you in the video that I will even take my Vivo X46 added here side 4. When the power is turned on, a small tip of my screen is adjusting. It is very, very good to use it as a monitor of an oscilloscope when coloring. This is the next one to use. You should all have noticed that there is a metal cup over here. This is the cup officially provided by their Livtab 304. Stainless steel, and below this is a metal piece. It can be used for heating or cooling, and you can see the instructions. Pay attention to this indicator light. When you are cooling, it is blue. Color needs heating attention. It is red, and this cup is made of 304 stainless steel. Although it is stainless steel. The thermal conductivity is not good, but it is also metal, right? It makes sense to put it there. A very reasonable design, right? This is how I usually carry it in the refrigerator. When the water comes out and you drink it over there, the water will stop freezing after a while, or it will cool down after drinking water. This thing is really very, very reasonable, right? Make sure your water is not cold or hot, right? Make sure your water doesn't get hot. It's not a guarantee that your water won't get colder or watery. It won't be ice-free. Next, when Wuji goes to the back, there is this table. Look at it. And this LGBT lighting effect is not R. You can choose GB lighting effects according to your own needs. Choose any color you like and let it wash across the entire background. This lamp directly brings out the atmosphere inside. I need to dye it around. You see, this light only needs to be turned on. Normally, without turning on so many lights, the whole studio will follow you and learn this. The feeling of the atmosphere is dyed into this beautiful one. The above colors are what I think about this table. I think some of the details are remarkable. If you mean it, you'll be willing to let me take the thick stuff out of your wallet. Take out a dozen banknotes and blow them up to L. Aha, in front of Livtab boss. There are some reasons why I really want to buy it, and I also want to recommend it. After telling you so much, after the advantages, I still want to point out one point that I can complain about, which is this: the optional default table material for a table. I don't have to choose the quality. It's just this black color. Let me tell you, the white one is plastic, but this plastic is very wear resistant and waterproof. It's really durable when shaved, but I think it's completely. After watching this video, you must have felt that it is dark and has no texture. It feels very plasticky. For someone like me who likes wood grain. As for users of a desktop with this kind of texture, I don't have one. I have to choose. If there is a desktop panel available, I can't select it. I think it's a very special choice, including the whole. Small details like the table, including small details like the buttons. In fact, it is relatively cheap. After all, I spent more than 10,000 yuan, but one thing I'm curious about is why. Livtab does this in this circle of this control panel. A backlight is that sometimes I think it would be good to make a circle of backlight. Look at it, but there is no design, right? I don't understand. I have another question here. If you want to complain about Livtab, that's it. Well, I'm not a very geeky person, so I don't know. I want to install it myself after spending so much money. So during the process of installing the service, Livtab is not a very large one. The brand even hired an outsourced installation team. Just installing the table took a long time. Pay attention to one aspect, and then the installation was complicated and took several hours. This table is fully installed, so what I want to talk about is that the installation guide is actually not good enough. If you install it yourself, there will even be nod, right? Well, what I want to share with you today is this set of my ideals. Work table. The 5th version indeed makes me feel very satisfied now. Can be used for a long time. It must have been a year or two since the last time. 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 years, and then I have a table set that I can use for a long time. And desktop devices, and I think its commonality is very satisfying to me. And I am very satisfied with many details. I ordered it in some places that I've been complaining about before. I am very satisfied overall, with very few complaints left. There you have it. That's the 5th point about my ideal work desk. All contents of versions. Thanks for watching. If this helped, please give Uncle Alu a like. I will see you again in the next video. Goodbye.